Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram Antaryascha Bahirvidhutatimiram Jyotirmayam Shashvatam Sthanam Prapya Virajate Vinamatam Ajnanamunmulayan Pashyan Vishvamapedamullasatiyo Vishvasya Pare Paraha Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Lokagurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha. Okay, let's read verses 24, 25, and 26. Isha jivayor veshadhibhida satsvabhavato vastu kevalam veshahanatah svatmadarshanam Isha darshanam svatmarupataha Atma samstite svatmadarshanam Atma nirdvayad atmanishtata. So what it says is Isha and Jiva, God and us. Isha Jiva yoho bheda. What is the difference between God and us? The difference is just the vesha, the outer conditioning. Satsvabhavato, but when we look at it from the standpoint of the essence or sat, we are just one and the same. Consciousness conditioned by totality is called God. Consciousness conditioned by individuality is called us, the individual, the Jiva. Jiva is like the wave, Ishwara is like the ocean. And the essence of the wave, the essence of the ocean, is one and the same. It is only water. So if we want to have the vision of God, where do we go? Here. Turn within. Turn within. Because the essence is one and the same. Whatever we are looking for is in us. How far does the pot, the clay pot, have to go in search of clay? Doesn't have to go in search of clay. The pot is clay, right? The same way, Jiva doesn't have to go outside and search for Ishwara. In the essence, Jiva is Ishwara, in essence. Does that mean we shouldn't go to temples, we shouldn't chant shlokas and mantras and all of that? No, because these things help us to turn within. So it doesn't mean that we shouldn't do them. We should do them. We should go to temples. We should chant shlokas. We should pray. We should do upasana. We should perform karma yoga. Because all of these things purify our mind and enable us to turn within. Now, in the next verse, it says, Veshahanataha swatmadarshanam. When we remove or negate the conditionings, we have the vision of the self. Isha darshanam svatma rupataha. The vision of God is the vision of the self. So if I want to see God, what should I do? Turn within. The vision of God is the vision of the self. So we saw this much last week. Then we saw a little bit of 26 as well. Today we're going to elaborately talk about it. Somebody might ask, what is the vision of the self? I understand vision of God is the vision of the self, but what is vision of the self? Atma samstitihi svatma darshanam on verse 26. The vision of the self is abidance in the self. Atma nirdvayat atma nishtata, since the self is non-dual. Firm abidance in the self. Vision of the self, abidance in the self. Now, when we think of abidance, please don't think that this is Atma and now I have to abide in Atma. This is Atma. It says that I am Atma. Now I have to take myself and abide in Atma. I have to somehow soak myself in Atma. That is abidance in Atma. That is not abidance in Atma. There are some people who feel that they have fallen from their abidance in Atma. There's sometimes that they feel that they are the self, the pure consciousness, existence, consciousness, bliss. And sometimes they have fallen from that. Guess what? Atma, or the self, is something that we can never fall from because we are the self. And we don't need to abide in the self. We are already that. The whole idea of this knowledge is we are what we seek. We are already that here and now. So abidance in the self means we're already the self. Abidance in the self means don't abide in the not self. Don't take ourselves to be the body, take ourselves to be the mind, take ourselves to be the intellect or the ego. When we do that, then we are not abiding or remaining as we are. We are trying to be somebody else. So abidance in the self means don't abide in the not self because you are the self. Just imagine if somebody told you, abide in yourself. Meaning if somebody told me, abide in Shubhani. How weird would that be? Abide in Shubhani. How do you even do that? I am Shubhani, right? Because we're so used to living as this individuality. So if somebody said abide as Shubhani, I would find that so strange, so weird. In the same way, when somebody says abide in the self, you are the self. This identity, this individuality who we have come to really think we are, this Shubhani, this is actually the not self. We have come to believe that this is our identity because of constant abhyasa or practice. When we all came into this world, we came as babies. We didn't have a name. We didn't have any idea of any relationships. We didn't have any status, nothing like that. But because of practice, then we have come to feel that we are this personality and this individuality because of practice and because of what society has told us. But in reality, this is not us. In reality, we are that pure self. So even if this feels natural, this individuality, this identity of Shubhani, even if it is or feels natural, it only feels like that because of practice, but it is actually the most unnatural thing. And in fact, whenever we are free of this ego, we are the most relaxed and most at peace. So abidance in the self means don't abide in the not self. Abidance in the self means you are already that. The minute I feel that I have fallen from Atman, I have made the grave mistake of attaching the self with the mind. The self and the mind have no connection whatsoever. So there's no way that I can fall from abidance or rise in abidance. That is only ignorance. The only thing is, I am abidance. My nature is abidance. One more thing we have to note is in the spiritual path, see, a seeker is supposed to purify their minds, gain clarity of knowledge, develop a sattvic intellect, sattvic mind. And on developing that sattvic mind, intellect, when one becomes very sattvic, what is the sadhana now? Here's where seekers get stuck. Those who have done a lot of spiritual practices, who have studied for many years, who have made attempts to go within, to meditate, they get stuck in trying to perfect themselves. They feel that they have reached a state of purity and now I have to make sure I am perfect. This is actually the biggest fall. This BMI, body, mind, intellect, can never be perfect. How much ever we clean the body, we make it look nice, we make it look pretty, beautiful, it's gonna get dirty, it's gonna smell, we're gonna have to take a bath again. Because it's Prakriti, it's nature. And we're surrounded by air, heat, we're surrounded by all kinds of pollution. So this will happen to the body. No matter how much we try to purify the mind, make sure that we keep ourselves in sattvic environments and think sattvic thoughts and be incredibly sattvic. If we live in a city like New York City, or if we live in an area with so many different kinds of people, we can't help it, but people around us may be saying some things, maybe doing some things, and that will get into our mind just because we're around that. So we can't make the mind perfect. Nor can we make our individuality, our ego, perfect. Some people are in this task of making themselves always look perfect, look good, look great, feel great. But that is such a strain. That's such a tensed way of living. When we feel like everything around us has to always be perfect. This actually leads to more samsara. What Vedanta is trying to say is that once we've attained to a great state of purity, the sadhana is not perfection. The sadhana now is transcendence. It's transcendence. Now I've understood that I am beyond my body. Fine, keep the body healthy and know that I am beyond it. I've reached the state where I know I'm not the mind. Fine, keep the mind healthy. I know I'm beyond the mind. I've reached the state where I know this ego is illusory. Fine. Keep the ego healthy and pure, but be beyond it. One might ask, what is the motive of somebody who has realized that they're not the body, not the mind, not the intellect, not the ego? What is their motive for keeping it pure? Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandaji says very beautifully, realize your higher nature and play with your lower nature. Not to become anything for the world, but to offer it as a gift to God, to offer it to humanity. You see, the enlightened being has transcended their body, mind, intellect. They are beyond it. However, life is still there, body is still there, mind is still there. They still have to live. So they play with it. They play with the body, mind, intellect. They play with it. They mold it. They make it a gift of offering to God, to society, to everyone who has helped them along the way. So they know they are exactly where they need to be. They know that they are what they seek. And as they're living, they play with the body, mind, intellect, mold it, empty it completely of the ego. Let divinity just shine through it. And therefore, there's a deep sense of relaxation. There's no pressure to become someone for the world. There's no pressure of what will people say? What will they think of me? There's no pressure to accomplish such great feats. There's only the pleasure of just being. And let Bhagavan move us in the way he wants to move us. What have we got to do with it? Why should we even have that thought? Why should we even have that agenda? Let his hand move through us and live life beautifully, relaxed, at peace, with a trust, a faith, and an acceptance. That's called Nishtha. Nishtha, abidance in the self. So abidance in the self is the vision of the self, and abidance in the self is really just be. Don't become. Don't want to become. Just remain as you are. And let divinity flow through you. There's nothing to latch onto, to hold onto. It's not one thing abiding in the other. There's only one thing. There is no other. Therefore, he says, Atma samstitihi, abidance in the self, svatma darshanam, is the vision of the self. Atma nirdvayat, since the self is non-dual, atmanishtata, that is the firm abidance in the self. Okay, today we'll stop here and we'll do the remaining verses in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.